Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're playing Dragon Age Origins. We're in the King's Army's camp at Ostagar, and we're about to talk with Duncan about our initiation into the Grey Wardens.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform two tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of darkspawn blood, one for each recruit.
What do we need Darkspawn blood for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
So if you recall, the joining is what they call our initiation process. So it's the ritual that we perform in order to become a Grey Warden. We don't know anything about it other than it's called the joining, and now we know that we need to collect Darkspawn blood for the joining. Yeah, I imagine Elia would be very excited for some action. So I'm gonna go with that. Finally, some action.
Without a doubt. Darkspawn aren't renowned for their willingness to offer up their blood. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
Scrolls. What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
Okay. So actually, once we get those scrolls, we might get a codex about them. And if we do, I think that would be a good codex to read. Although we can find out about it just through conversation as well, just not in detail. Is this part of the joining too?
No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task.
Of course I am. Okay, how will we find this archive?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
And what if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
Interesting. Okay. Find the archive and 3 vials of blood. Understood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
So, Alistair here is not one of the initiates. He is already a Grey Warden. He is merely accompanying us on our journey to make sure that we find our way. Before we go out, I'm just going to check the gear of all my companions here. Oh, I never mentioned this before, but you can actually swap sets. So Ideally, what you'll do if you're actually going to be using this is you'll put a ranged weapon in one and then your main weapon in the other. Or, like, if your ranged is your main weapon, your ranged would be here and vice versa. You can switch between the two during combat, and it doesn't affect anything. It just affects, like, how you're attacking. So if you're a character that can use ranged and melee attacks, then you might be interested in that option. So Davith here, I don't want him using his bow, so I'm actually going to take it off, and then I'm going to take these out and put them in his first slot there. We'll give him a sword instead of 2 daggers. Oh, whoops. There we go. I can be the only ranged person as the mage. And then Jory, take his bow away so he doesn't get tempted to use it. And the reason I'm taking their bows away is not because they're not useful. It's more so that because of the buff that I have as a mage, that weapon enchantment that adds damage to their melee weapons, it doesn't affect the bows. So if they all have their melee weapons, they'll be doing a lot more damage. Plus, it's more targets between the enemy and myself. And as the mage, I'm going to be the squishy of the bunch. Everything will want to kill me, and they will be able to do it a lot more easily than they will trying to kill any of these fellows. And with that, let's go to the Kokari Wilds.
Hail! I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
So this is the biggest dungeon area that we've gone into so far. It will be anyway. You'll see what I mean as we explore. So bigger areas like this, you can actually find numerous things to do in the area. A miniature version of that would have been our experience in the Fade, where we were able to go around and talk to different creatures, and we had like mini sub-quests. Well, same idea is relevant here, just because there will be side quests that we can do. Oh. Our first combat.
Yes.
That's it!
I want them all to attack that guy.
Very well. Of course.
I just realized I don't have a weapon. It doesn't matter. We'll find one. Maybe I should go down there. I thought I had a staff equipped for some reason.
Of course.
Just die already!
Oh, you know what?
It will be done.
I did have that staff from the circle equipped, but then First Enchanter Irving took it back, and I forgot to equip another one. So that is entirely my fault. Oh well. So what I'm doing is I'm going around and I'm exploring like all the nooks and crannies of the area, just to make sure that we don't accidentally walk past something, because sometimes that is quite possible. It's easy to walk past stuff that you don't realize is even there. Of course, there are some areas that we just can't go to regardless, so... Oh, like right here. So... this is actually going to be a quest, so I think it's important that I should read this. Okay. My dearest son, it pleases me that you wish to follow in my footsteps and bring the Maker's word to the unenlightened. I wish you had chosen a less dangerous place to do so. Apologies for leaving early for the Wilds, son, but I wanted to set up camp and get things started. The chastened respect one with survival skills in the Wilds, so I hoped to get a grip on that before you arrived, and maybe establish an agreement with a local tribe so that we had friends when you came. Clearly that didn't happen, considering he's face down in a puddle. Okay. When you reach the Wilds, you'll find it difficult to navigate. I've listed certain landmarks below. If you follow them, they will lead you to a location that I've scouted where I've left you some supplies. If you're lost, try to get back to that spot and I'll find you. The landmarks are as follows. Beginning at the entrance of the Wilds from Ostagar, look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. A tree leaning on a ruined building. So, this is 319. 319 quest related. It's also the only quest related. So we're gonna look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. Okay, so let's go back to the start just to make sure we don't miss anything. I don't see any buildings over here, so we know it's not over here. Well, maybe it could be. Maybe I can get a vantage point if I go up on this hill. I don't think that counts. Okay. I don't even see any ruins, let alone tree leaning on ruins, so we're gonna have to go further in. But this is the entrance to Ostagar there, so... Oh, there's some ruins there. And it looks like there's trees near the ruins, so that might be what he's talking about. And there's a dying soldier here that we can go talk to. So let's do that.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
We don't have time for this. Let's go.
We don't have time? What, you have an urgent meeting somewhere?
He's already dead, see?
Does the word insane mean anything to you?
I said we don't have time for this.
Remind me not to get injured anywhere near you.
So, that is another evil example, and this is the first time that we've actually done it with other party members in our group. As you saw in the corner there was a broken heart that appeared with a -3 beside it. That means that we lost 3 approval with Alistair here. Now, none of the others were affected by that action. You'll find out why eventually, but not all characters react the same way to all of your actions. So like, some actions some characters will approve of, while other characters will highly disapprove of. And the amounts by which they approve or disapprove vary. So in this case, Alistair did disapprove, sorry for the stuttering there, but it was not a huge amount of disapproval, it was just a small amount. Now, I'm hearing a chicken somewhere over here, but I don't see it. That chicken is pretty lucky, if it's the only thing that lived. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother looking, I'll just move on. Oh! That was a chipmunk. Maybe that's what I heard. Because it got louder as we approached, and then... I don't... Oh! That must be the tree right there. Looks like it's leaning on the room. It's torn out of the... Oh! Wildflower. I think this is what we need to save the dog. If you remember from last time, we encountered a quest that we were given to find a white and red flower in the wilds. Or was it yellow and red? I don't know. But either way, this matches the description, and we can see that the quest has been updated. Mabari Hound. Okay. And mark all that as red. Okay.
We must strike quickly. Of course.
Right away. Push them
The music is getting pretty loud, and these darkspawn, they are screaming pretty loudly
It will
too.
be done.
Well, at least it seems that way to me.
Very well.
Vial of darkspawn blood. So we have 2,
Yes.
or was that 3? We might have actually picked one up already. I don't know. Either way, there will be more darkspawn in here. We'll find them. We have to go back to this tree. Now we're going to take a look at where we go next. The beginner codex right here. Okay. Pass under a fallen tree bridge. And then look for a submerged tower on the right. Tree bridge. That's the tree bridge right there.
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
So this kind of thing is something we'll encounter again. Things like strung up bodies. It is actually the darkspawn that do that. Most of the time. Or at least in this game. There are other factions that do it as well. So this is what we were looking for, this rune. I believe it was on the right. Yeah. So we're here. And then we need to look between a high ruined arch and a mossy standing stone. High ruined arch, mossy standing stone. And then walk along a path of roots and stones. Since we were supposed to go right initially, I'm imagining that if we go this way, we'll find what we're looking for. That way, rather. I just want to see if there's anything over in here. Doesn't look like it. I don't see any shinies. It's more darkspawn there. Yay!
On it. Take that!
Very well. My hand. Be gone.
I
As
think
you
that's
say.
all of the Darkspawn blood we need. So we got 3 vials now. More than 3 even. Okay, I hear another chipmunk right there. He's not running away this time though. Or she. Or it. Yeah, it. It's not running away. Okay. Let's go check out what's over here. I'm supposed to be looking for something, but whatever.
These are vile and tainted creatures.
Off I go.
On it.
There's a lot of them, holy.
As you say. It will be done.
And that's one thing about this game that you might find nice. During combat, you can still loot stuff.
As you say.
So if you
Of course.
feel like your allies have the combat situation
Very
under
well.
control, you can feel free to walk around and loot stuff, just to save a little bit of time. Might as well check up on this hill. We're gonna have to backtrack a bit to find where we are supposed to be going. I'm supposed to find the mossy rock with the arched tower thing. That kind of is an arch. Oh no, that's the rune where we started. So maybe this? Something nearby. Where is it? Oh, it's a road.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, so that happens sometimes. The enemies ambush you. They're nice enough to give little grunting sounds and let us know that they're there, though. Not very wise on their part, but it's good for us. More arches, and then there's this mossy rock here. Very peculiar mossy rock. And a path of roots, so it's set to follow this. If we can, okay.
It will be done.
First, I didn't actually kill any of them. Well, I killed a couple, but not as many as I would have liked.
It will be done.
Didn't I steal a chantry robe from someone earlier? Yeah, I'm gonna use that. I just like the appearance better. Even though this is vastly superior. I mean, technically at this stage in the game, that something with those kind of stats is ridiculously overpowered. So, yeah. Yeah, we're good. No loot, and then we can check our quest again. Yeah. Check the quest. This is a new quest. Oh no, that's just the one that we already completed. We did get something new apparently though, right there. But Jogby is the one we're looking for. So we followed that, look for 2 large statues with a chest in between them. There you'll find our meeting point. I love you, Jogby, my son. I hope to see you soon. Your father, Rigby. Well, you won't be seeing him anytime soon, considering he's face down in a puddle back there. Let's check out this quest. Not much else. Okay, so the Chastened Barbarians are nothing if not clever. They have hidden markers and signs in the arrangements of stones and rubble along the paths of the wilds. In this way, they mark trails, note places of interest, and even give warning in a way that outsiders can understand. Interestingly, these markers look indistinguishable from a regular pile of stones. I have dedicated my time to deciphering these signs, and I believe that I'm close to a breakthrough. The trail markers seem to point to a hoard or a location used for secret storage among the Chastened. I have only found a portion of the message, however. I think that if I could complete the message, find all of the trail markers, I can find this cache and see what treasure the Chastened have to hide. I have found one such marker near this camp. So this is referring to the camp where we fought like a bunch of darkspawn around a set of ruins. They had some tents around there, and there was a chest in between the tents. That's what it's referring to. I didn't read it at the time, but I probably should have, just in case. Okay, so I have found such a marker near this camp under a fallen tree leaning against the ruins. Each marker seems to point to 1 or 2 others. I hear rumors that a darkspawn horde is coming. I hope I can find its treasure before it's too late. An excerpt from Rigby's journal. So Rigby might still be out there somewhere, and he left this behind for some reason. Although if he was trying to escape the darkspawn, that's a pretty good reason to run, so yeah. Farewell letter to Rigby. Oh no, that's just the quest. My dear son, I fear that this is the last letter I will write to you, and it might be. Okay, I have had difficulty finding the Chastened to bring them the Maker's word. I have, however, seen evidence of their passing. They appear to have left this area in great haste, possibly fleeing the so-called darkspawn that are rumored to be gathering in the wilds in ever greater numbers. Okay, so he knows that they were fleeing, and there's a lot more of them than there are of him, considering he's one person. And he didn't think to run himself. Yeah, he's probably dead. Okay. I have left you a weapon and everything else I can spare, my son. I will try to find you once I have found a safe place, if there is any. I only hope that you will be safe. With luck, we will meet again. If you see her, tell your mother that I love her, and take care of our family. Your loving father, Rigby. Okay, well, I have a feeling that we're gonna find his body somewhere. Or maybe that was his body that was face down. I didn't actually pay attention to the name. It was something Rigby, wasn't it? Yeah, oh well. Okay. Let's go with more magic. Magic is always good. So is Constitution. But for now, I don't think Constitution is as important. Yet. It will be. It will be very soon. So this, the spell I just got, it's a sustained aura.
Of course.
And what it does is it siphons bodies that I walk past for mana. So instead of needing to use potions, I can have that equipped. And as long as there's corpses nearby, all I have to do is walk over the corpses, and that will eat the corpses and exchange the corpse for mana. However, it does deplete my mana pool, so I have a lot less mana to spend in the first place. So I am more likely to run out. It can still be worth it if you're fighting a lot of creatures at once, though. So. I'm just backtracking a little bit. I want to see what's on the other side of this hill. We were here earlier.
We must strike quickly.
Apparently enemies.
Very well. Okay, going now. Too slow.
As you say. Of course.
Oh, what's this? Well, Rigby certainly didn't get what he wanted. He's dead. Rigby's last will and testament. New quest. You found the last will. Okay, well, I want to read the will. Let's go here. To whoever finds this note, this is the last will and testament of Rigby the missionary, proud speaker of the Maker's word. I have come to the wilds to speak the chant, but I fear I will die here at the hands of the Darkspawn. I leave all that I came with to my wife, Jeddah. Should the reader of this note feel charitable, I have buried a sealed lockbox in our camp, nestled in a Tevinter ruin in the west reaches of the wilds. It is my will that this lockbox finds my wife in Redcliffe, and that it is still sealed shut when it reaches her. To my wife and my son, I apologize that my work has taken me from you, but I know that I die in the service of the Maker. So his son is actually dead. That was the body that we came across face down in a puddle at the very beginning of the woods. So both the son and the husband are both dead. The wife, Jeddah, should be in Redcliffe if we ever get a chance to go there. So I'm not a rogue, I can't open that. But Davith, I think, is a rogue. And he doesn't have high enough skill. Of course he doesn't. Figures, 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 figures. Okay. Enough moaning. Let's go loot the corpses. Loot is always good. He said we should be able to find that lockbox or whatever in the west portion of the wilds. So I think we might have actually already been there. So do we already have it? Now I'm curious, actually. Find the cache, so I have not found it yet. So that's the Chasen trail sign for the other quest I mentioned. Could go back there. Okay, where exactly is that box again? I buried the sealed lockbox in our camp to Winter Ruin in the western reaches. To Winter Ruin, western reaches. This is the west, so it has to be somewhere over here. We might as well backtrack and see if we can find it. We don't have to, I suppose. And it'll just be more of me running around in the forest like a madman or madwoman. Going past these bodies again. So this is a rune, but we can't even get to it, so no point in looking in there. I imagine he means that rune, the rune that had the camp. Those chipmunks are like everywhere. Okay. I don't see anything other than this chest, but we already opened that chest. I don't see the marker. I guess that's supposed to be the marker, just like a set of rocks in the dirt. But those rocks are like everywhere, so... Doesn't look like it's pointing anywhere to me. Nah, I think we're wasting time. I'm not gonna... Maybe we'll find it over here somewhere. If we just continue our mission. Go up in there, explore a bit. Besides, we have to get those papers for the Grey Warden papers, whatever they were called. More rogues, apparently.
Beware! Of course.
I missed. He died too quickly. Okay, so that little effect where a little orb shot out of their body and came into and hit me, that was my mana siphon devouring their corpses. So that'd be funny if the locket is actually in this box, because if it is,
Of course.
there's no way I can actually get it. Which would be a shame. Uh-oh. So, This is Darkspawn territory, it looks like. With all the bodies hanging around. Okay, the emissary. What those are they are magic using Darkspawn. He just lit us on fire. You know, this is where potions come in handy, because I feel like I'm gonna need it to take this guy down. Jeez, all the traps. It was a close call for some of us. Mr. Davith here almost died. Pinch of Ashes quest. Oh, that's pretty long. Okay, but we'll read it since it's a quest. Torn from a book on local myths and legends. The Kokari Wilds are rife with legends and myths that have amazed and confounded scholars since the fall of Ostagar in ancient times. One such myth lies behind the tale of Astia and Nebinar, two young lovers who lived in Ostagar. The legend says that Astia grew up in the company of Gazarath, a spirit of the earth bound to an overhang on the bank of a lake in the Kokari Wilds. Gazarath began to fancy her, and they spent much of their days together, talking and laughing. Over the years, however, Astia became a woman and began to seek the company of men. When Astia met Nebinar, the two fell in love, and Astia hoped to bring her lover to see her spirit friend, but the spirit, angered and jealous, bade her begone. Gazarath told her that she would never see it again until she brought her lover's ashes and sprinkled them over their spot. Astia was horrified, and she fled. That Gazarath basically told her to kill her lover, which is awesome, and not awesome at the same time, depending. Okay, so, and she fled from the enraged spirit, but she began to miss Gazarath, and on the day Nebinar asked her to marry him, she cut her beloved's throat, burned him, and brought his ashes to Gazarath, knowing that their marriage would forever sever her ties to her dear spirit friend. So, interesting. She actually did it. There are legends among the Chastened that Gazarath still haunts the lake, and that those who sprinkle the ashes of the deceased over the right spot can summon the spirit. In memory of the contract with its beloved Astia, Gazarath will grant a single wish and then vanish, never to be heard from again. A note is scribbled in the margins beneath the page. Marcus, I think this is real. If you take the ashes I gave you and scatter them over a pile of rocks on an overhang overlooking that half-sunken Tevinter dome, maybe Gazarath will appear and give you a wish. If the battle takes you there, I think it's worth a try. Okay, so that's what the quest is. It wants us to sprinkle ashes in that spot near the Tevinter dome. I don't think we've seen it yet, unless that's it. That actually might be it. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, pile of rocks. This is where we sprinkle the ashes, so let's do that. You see a pile of stones covered in a fine layer of dust and ash. Sprinkle more ash on the pile of stones. So casually, just like push. That's Gazrath apparently, and he's not happy.
Don't say I didn't warn you!
So if this is a demon,
And stay down!
didn't even give anything good. Oh. Okay, there we go. Enchanter's footing. Decent set of boots. For a mage. Do we have a staff yet? No, we don't. Of course not. Don't see anything to loot over there. More dark spawn. They have this place quite well fortified. Well, that's not good.
Any last words?
Stop hitting the mage. Where are all the warriors at?
Do not falter! On it.
So there's actually another spell that's similar to this Death Siphon. It's basically the same thing, but instead of devouring the corpses for mana, it devours the corpses for health, which can actually be quite useful. So, the treaties should be in this rune. I'm just making sure that I don't miss anything. Or try not to miss anything anyway. Probably already missed something. Yeah, I might have missed something right in there. It didn't look like there was anything in there when we were over there. It looked just like an empty path, but you never know. We're not gonna run all that way. I'll turn this off for now. So, Warden's Cache. It looks pretty busted up. Anything up here? A whole lot of nothing. Unless, yeah, nothing. Okay. Alright. Cutscene. Yeah, that looks pretty empty. And who's that?
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
Okay. So I'm not gonna say anything about this character, but other than the fact that we'll be seeing this character a lot more. I am neither. The Grey Wardens once owned this tower.
'Tis a tower no longer. The Wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered. Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the Wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine.
I am Elia. A pleasure to meet you.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer. You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Okay, then who removed them?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you.
Kind of makes you wonder what kind of legends they've been telling about the witches of the wild. Frogs and putting people in pots. Kind of sounds a little bit like the Hansel and Gretel tale, if you know anything about that.
Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, dammit. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your elven mind give you a different viewpoint? What do you believe?
What's funny about that? She just basically told Jory there that he's not important at all to the story. It's great. Okay, so I see an old woman and I see a scantily clad woman. Another, yeah, who is apparently her daughter. Okay, so I'm not sure what to believe.
A statement that possesses more wisdom than it implies. Be always aware. Or is it oblivious? I can never remember. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded witch of the wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
A I did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
Okay, so I just want to point out that if you noticed during that conversation in the background, Morgan had some reactions to her mother's talking. And at one point she was like shaking her head like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Just the utter humiliation. It was great. Okay. That's something to look out for in this game. The characters, even if they're not speaking, they have something to say with their body language in the background. It's great. A lot of the time, anyway. It's not the case in every situation, but it is the case in many of them. Particularly the major cutscenes, where you'll be talking with people. Like this. So. Okay. What do you mean the threat is greater than they realize?
Either the threat is more, or they realize less. Or perhaps the threat is nothing. Or perhaps they realize nothing. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
Morgan's just so put upon. It was great. I like those two. They're great characters. We'll be seeing both of them actually more. Especially Morgan. So. Okay, we have more codexes. Might as well bring them up. It's a creature. And the Morgan one you saw. Genlock, Hurlock, and Shade. So the Shade is a demon. That was the Gazarath, or whatever his name was. And then Genlocks and Hurlocks are both different kinds of Darkspawn. And you know, that was a pretty long trip in the woods, and since we're actually about to start the joining, we'll end up cutting the episode off pretty quickly here. But I want to turn in this quest first, and then we'll go see if that lockbox is open.
The Mabari's stable for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope.
Is this the flower you're looking for?
Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment. He looks better already. I'm sure he'd thank you himself if he could.
How long before there's improvement?
A day, maybe 2. There's enough ointment for him to make a full recovery. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you.
Or you can give me money. That would be nice too. Oh, I don't have that option anymore. Maybe I should have said it in the first place. Wouldn't mind having a dog though, so you think that's possible?
Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax collector. Come back after the battle and just... well, take another look.
I will. I would have liked for you to give me some money, but you know, whatever. Missed out on that opportunity, it looks like. Oh. Yeah, see, that's the Tranquil guy that was guarding the chest earlier. And Wynn's in a different spot, so she actually might have something new to say, but I'm not going to start that conversation right now, just in case she has a lot to say. So, this is all the stuff that you can get if you get that key from the prisoner. Now, you don't have to kill the prisoner like I did to get the key. What you can do is, you remember how he was saying that he was starving without like food and water in that cage for so long? Well, it turns out that if you can give him some food, you can trade the food for the key. Now, it gives you a few different options as to how you can get the food, and you can explore that on your own. I'm not going to bother saying what they all are for now because it's not super important. But I'll actually call the video off now, and then I will be selling some stuff. I'm sure you don't need to see that. And then we'll rejoin, and I'll talk to Win, and I'll talk to Duncan next time. See you.